lot of you have probably never read my stuff over on my blog, psycams.com. But I felt a little lazy due to a lot going on in my life and decided to return to a previously written work, update it, and produce a video out of it. I guess it's not that lazy when you think about it, but anyway, this video was originally a series I wanted to do highlighting great characters in video games that are women. I don't know if I'll do more videos on this, as I'll admit, while I do play games, it's not as much as I'd want to, especially if I'm going to fully deliver on this series, which was in a way meant to be celebratory, as well as a way to be welcoming, as while games certainly have grown more diverse, sadly there are still too many circles that are just men gatekeeping the hobby from women. Not as much as it used to be, but it's there, and I'd love to show how much gaming itself has used female characters positively to welcome them into the entertainment. So if you want me to try my hand at doing more, please let me know in the comments, and do subscribe to keep up with my stuff. And while you're at it, Patreon is a good way to help me grow this channel and provide supplies for better quality videos. So Peach, how can she be a great character for women? Isn't she just perpetuating a sexist trope? Well, I think it's more complicated than that. Peach has been in more games than any other female character in games, playable or not. That much is impressive. But that she's managed to be a pretty random character with more personality than her boyfriend Mario is even more amazing. While story rarely factors in most Mario games, the best ones can still show some personality to the cast. Sure, Peach is often seen as a blank slate, but I think she does offer more than just a reward, especially when we do get the occasional game with the story.
Who is she?
Everyone should know this. Most people who know what games are know what Super Mario Bros. Is. They know Mario has to rescue the princess, who happens to be Peach. So what should I fill this part with? Well, most people only know that Peach is the damsel, but they don't know that she's been much more, or rather, rarely acknowledge she's not just the damsel, outside the core Mario games. How many other female characters, or just characters in general for that matter, are good at pretty much every major sport? But she's also been a part of other adventures. Super Mario Bros. 2 featured Peach as the playable hero, but sadly, in the main series of games, it wouldn't be until Super Mario 3D World that Peach would be playable again. And this time, it was real, at least in the fictional canon. Honestly, it's in the spin-offs where Peach has shined a few more times. The RPG games let Peach be a little more active, sometimes to the point of being a party member. But Peach's biggest role would have her rescue Mario in her own game, Super Princess Peach, which admittedly is a bit of a double-edged sword for her. It's great she's a lead, but, well, I'll get into it in a bit.
Something is clearly wrong.
From all this, Peach seems like a pretty well-rounded character. She's a damsel in distress first, sure, but she's an athlete. She's capable of holding her own in adventures. She has silly moves, can be random in fights, and possibly even more powerful than she lets on. Peach might honestly let herself get kidnapped just to let Mario do something from time to time. Anyway, moving on from that, Peach is essentially your stereotypical princess in most main series titles, that much is true. But outside of that, she's fun and powerful, making her an oddball of a lead when you think about it.
What makes her great?
In case you weren't paying attention before, no other female character has appeared in as many games as Peach has. That, in and of itself, is plenty reason. Peach isn't just about the record though. Peach has plenty to back her up. As mentioned before, Peach is commonly in the sports games, often playing better than Mario himself. The reasons behind that are pretty easy to suss out, considering Mario is often forced to be the balanced character, leaving little room for advantages, while Peach is often made to be a lighter, easier character for newcomers to work with, or one for experts to find ways to take advantage of. In fact, I can guarantee that most people will find Peach to be a much more fun character to work with whenever the option is available. Where I personally think I fell in love with Peach as a character though, is when she appeared in Super Smash Bros. Melee. It was impressive that they constructed her moveset out of random references to her playable appearances, in a way more reminiscent of meta characters like Deadpool, rather than the cute princess she's known to be. My favorite thing about Peach as a character has to be that she's a cute princess, but Nintendo is willing to show her absurdity as a character, making her silly in games like in Brawl's famous story mode where we see a battle going on but she stops it with T. She'll be kidnapped numerous times but will acknowledge it for a cute joke. She's a damsel in distress, yet possibly stronger or braver, maybe even both, than her hero.
Shortcomings?
We're all thinking about it, so I'll just say it. Yes, it's problematic that she's a damsel in distress. I get it, the early days of games were not complex enough to tell compelling stories, so any plot had to be very simple to grasp. A fairy tale style rescue was simple, thus Peach was just there to fill a simple goal. It, however, does not excuse the 30 following years of recycling that plot point. While Nintendo is always more about the games than the plot, it can't be too hard to make Peach a hero more often than she is, right? I mean, it's great Peach has appeared in more games than other female characters. It's just a shame she's been captured in so many of those, making the most seen woman in games also the most captured, which isn't a great role for women. I like that the games have turned it into a bit of a joke, making it feel less horrible in the long run, but the constant use of the trope makes the joke ring a little hollow, and it unfortunately does send a potentially toxic message to young kids. Even if that's not the intention, it's still an issue because that leaves the prominent female character to be without empowerment in the main games, except for a few times. Also, we should acknowledge that Super Princess Peach, however fun it actually is, winds up feeling insulting. The one time Peach is given the lead role in her own game and it feels like an extended joke on women. Peach runs around using the powers of her emotions, which become pretty obvious as sexist jokes. The game's fine, kind of forgettable in its gameplay, but the stuff that is remembered are the stuff that would raise people's eyebrows. I don't think it's entirely crude or even intentionally mean-spirited or sexist for that matter, but that our only game feels that way is not a great thing. I'd wish they'd make another Super Princess Peach, but better, because emotional powers that are all reliant on very cartoony depictions of Peach crying, getting angry and joyful is just not comfortable to talk about. Why not just give her powers that aren't tied to having mood swings? Why make it feel like one big joke on periods?
Is she great?
I know it's crazy, but yes. Princess Peach may embody a lot of negative traits, but there's plenty to celebrate. She's a damsel in distress, which is certainly an issue, and one that even turning into a joke wouldn't fully erase, but it's at least acknowledged more than other franchises, so that's worth something. Not a lot, but it's worth mentioning. Peach is random, cute, lovable, and proof that women can be strong, even when they look and act stereotypically girly, at least when you see her in Smash, or in games like in 3D World. So in the end, Princess Peach is not just a record holder, she is a great character for women in video games. A fun character for kids to get into gaming, as she often is very easy to play in games that use her, as well as a fun character in the Mario world. Sure, people like the more stoic Zelda, who is good, don't get me wrong, but Peach has her own positives, despite the baggage of being a damsel in distress. Maybe someday Nintendo will drop that aspect entirely, and it will likely be for the best. What I can say for now is that Peach certainly succeeds at being an entertaining, memorable character. It's hard to hate her when she's adorable and absurdly comical. Hopefully, Nintendo continues to make her shine. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Support me on Patreon, and remember to see me next time.